Today is Emancipation Day. It's a day marking the abolishment of slavery in Canada nearly 190 years ago. Here at CBC, we're celebrating the day with an hour-long variety special streaming on GEM. It's showcasing music, dance, and poetry. Canada's up-and-coming Black artists are exploring freedom and what it means to them. One of those artists is my next guest. I want to welcome Peace Akintade. She is the 2021 Saskatchewan Youth Poet Laureate and joins us now from Saskatoon. Peace, thank you for giving us some time today and congratulations on being Poet Laureate.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with what Emancipation Day is to you.
So for me, Emancipation Day is about education. It's about realizing the history that has been pushed under the rock. You know, Canada has been seen as a mosaic of different cultures and different ethnicity, but we never really understand the culture and the history of how it happened. You know, why there's so many Black Perry people here in Canada and what that means as an education standpoint. And a lot of it has been pushed under the rug. And Emancipation Day today is about education.
And what would you like to say to Canadians just about Emancipation Day to help educate them?
It really is about education, and there is no shame in wanting education. The fact that we have this opportunity to know about this stuff because of, let's be clear, the system sometimes does not want to teach situations where we're seen as the losing side or who's the winning side. So having this Emancipation Day and having it centered around art is so important. Because although we need to know about the history, we also need to know that Black people are more than their traumas, more than whatever happened in the past, that we are filled with art and culture and goodness. And this hour-long special with CBC GEM really encapsulates that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. That's a really important message to send. Your own journey to Poet Laureate has roots in Nigeria. Your village is deep-seated. It has deep-seated connections to slavery. So tell us how that influences you.
It was very strange knowing about the history. And this is why I talk so much about education, because even me, being here in Canada as an immigrant, I had to learn about that history too. And I found out a lot of situations where missionaries or anthropologists would come to villages in Nigeria. They would see the religion that we had of like black magic and voodoo magic, and they would deem it as evil and demonic. And through that, they would want to civilize the barbarians and have specifically the women or the girls, they would marry them off and take them all the way to America and Canada and just leave them there. And so it's like a different sort of slavery, but it's still part of a whole circle, still part of a whole cycle that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. We appreciate that. Tell us about your involvement with the FreeUp Emancipation Day special.
Yeah, so I'm coming in as a poet here in this special. It's full of dancers and musicians and beautiful Canadian artists. And I came in as a poet, and I specifically wrote the poem that is featured, Master Rooster, when I took a trip to Nigeria after 10 years, knowing about that history. And I was sitting underneath a hangman tree, and I was writing about the scene around me, you know, because my village was already taken down and replaced with a church, replaced with power lines, and what that means coming back to Canada here and knowing all of those situations, how can we bring it forth here? So I really try to bring forth that message that this day is about knowing freedom and about celebrating art and also educating.
I want to thank you for sharing your story with us and your art as well. We appreciate that.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Okay, Peace Akintade is the Saskatchewan Youth Poet Laureate, and she's in Saskatoon. Today is an important day in this country and for other countries that were once a part of the British Empire. August 1st is Emancipation Day. It marks the day 187 years ago that the Slavery Abolition Act came into effect. Earlier this year, Canada officially recognized the first as Emancipation Day in this country. And joining us to talk about it and her performance in FreeUp Emancipation Day special is hip-hop artist Michie Mee. So nice to have you on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here as always.
Awesome. Okay, so talk about the importance of this day to you.
Oh, it's very important because now we're recognizing it in Canada. It took till 2021, but it's finally here. It's very important. It's always been important to me in other parts of the world where I've celebrated it. This weekend in Canada usually gets covered with the Caravana festivities. So it was nice to actually have FreeUp have this platform for all the artists across Canada. It was like a large flyer for everyone to, through all the art forms, just recognize the struggles that we've had here also in Canada. It's a rude awakening for the entire country. This whole year, a lot of has come to light. So Emancipation Day in Canada was needed to be recognized. And it needed for all the artists, the best way to translate all the actions and everything that we've gone through is through the arts. So to have different forms of the arts, the poetry, the hip hop, it was a perfect way to celebrate it.
Now tell us a little bit about your performance today.
Oh, well, I did Times Change and made it from my album, Bad Gal's Revenge, that's out now. And yeah, I was so happy to be a part of this and to actually have songs that are relevant to the situation and to Emancipation Day itself, because we've been writing about it for years. We've been talking about it. We've been, doing poems, reciting, acting it out in many forms for years. So the fact that we now in 2021, we get to identify it, the day in Canada, it's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we can see you performing on the other side there. Very cool. Love it. Oh, look how excited you are. I love that too. I wish I could hear a bit more of it too there. Tell us what freedom means to you.
Freedom is love. It's the right, the ownership and giving yourself permission to just, whether you want to be angry, whether you want to be funny, whether you want to be, just full of love. It comes back to that because everyone's going to have an emotion. Everyone has a feeling. So freedom is just no boundaries, no borders, nothing to separate, no separation to separate you from anything out there that's really yours. So freedom is happiness. It's just being yourself and allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to love in any form that it comes out of you, whether it's in the arts, whether it's behind the scenes, however you want to be a part of freedom. Freedom means to me love.
Yeah, that's really nice. Talk a little bit about, the fact that now Emancipation Day is celebrated in Canada. What type of difference do you hope this will make down the road for not only all Canadians, but also for performers too?
Well, we get another platform to celebrate in Canada because the landscape, it's very hard for us to just get across Canada as artists, period. So the fact that we have this, it's another way to get artists from every province together to actually say the upcoming. It has a wide range of artists too, which is something that is needed here too. So it's just the timing is right. I'm so glad that it's being recognized now because it's long overdue.
Now, I don't mean to I didn't get to hear, I want to put a little pressure on you. Can you give us a little taste of what you performed today? Is that too much pressure?
Probably, but hey, let's go. Times change gonna come, even if you can't change where you come from. Is it better yet, even just a little bit? Well, is it better yet, even just a little bit? Why can't it get better? I've been waiting forever. I rewrite these letters. I played and I bet it. I flowed and I said it. They said don't let it bother you, and I let it. Or you that same miserable chick that won't change. I'll let you know, you let them have it right there. Nobody could talk to you, could see right through you. You hurt so much, you want everyone to hurt too. Yes, I know what I want. I'm entitled to talk. I talk loud so you don't walk that walk. I'm a little stush, maybe a little much. 5 mics when you need that touch. You mess up my meditation. Every day I lose patience. I just want to shoplift, buff lips, and steal tips. You got me thinking how I could beat this man, jet this chick and take her van. I'm not mad anymore. I've matured. I understand having a perfect life is not in the plan. So I pray so we can all eat. And everything you work hard for, you keep.
And that is why they call her the queen of Canadian hip-hop, Michie Mee. I want to thank you so much. And hey, you know what? That performance was awesome for those who didn't get to see it on CBC Gem earlier. Thank you kindly for your time today. And thank you kindly for telling us how important Emancipation Day is for you.
And thanks for having me here. You know, we want, music and all that stuff added, but on the spot, thank you, Canada, for having me. Thank you for celebrating Emancipation Day. And I hope everyone celebrates it across Canada and look forward to more things like this coming. So,
absolutely.
FreeUp!
Absolutely. Thanks, Michie Mee.
Thank you for having me.
CBC aired a variety special on Gem today to celebrate Emancipation Day. Today, Black artists from around the world of dance, poetry, and music came together to explore the idea of freedom. Our next guest is one of those performers. Bukola is a musician based in Vancouver, and she joins us now. Bukola, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about Emancipation Day and why, for you, it's important to recognize and celebrate and participate in.
Yeah, so it commemorates the Abolition of Slavery Act, which became law on August 1st, 1834. And it freed over 800,000 people of African descent in Canada and throughout the British Empire. It's super important for me because it recognizes the marginalization that Black communities face, as well as Canada's involvement in slavery. I feel like Canada has this very nice guy image, and things like these are very easily overlooked. So it's very important to recognize Canada's involvement.
You know, people will say, well, that was then, and it got abolished. So what's the problem? Why do we have to think and talk about it now? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I think racism and, again, the marginalization of the Black community is still prevalent today, and systematic racism is still a huge problem. So we definitely need to recognize events like these and make those changes.
Talk to me about your own participation in today's events. What are you doing, and how are you marking the day?
Yeah, I got to perform as part of the special that aired on CBC Gem today. I did a little acoustic set with a guitarist named Anthony Anderson. He's absolutely incredible. But yeah, it was so much fun working with the team out in Toronto to build this performance from the ground up, and I'm so honored to have been a part of it.
As the day continues to be recognized in this country, what are you hoping it will turn into or evolve into?
Yeah, I think honestly that more people know about it, especially in school. Black Canadian history wasn't taught. I was actually telling my siblings that I was performing at this event, and they were like, what's Emancipation Day? Like, is it important? And I was like, yes, it is. So I hope that more Canadians are aware of this day and the significance of it.
Now, you being out west in British Columbia, this day has particular significance for the Black community in Western Canada, which is often sort of ignored. You know, we know about the Black community in Windsor, Ontario through the Underground Railroad. We know of the Black community that settled in Atlantic Canada and has been there for generations and generations, and then newer Black immigrants who have come. But talk to us about the Black identity in Western Canada.
Yeah, I guess too, like what I was saying before, that a lot of people just don't know about the day, especially here too in schools. We didn't learn about Black Canadian history. So as a Black Canadian, it was very hard because, again, I still don't know much about Black Canadian history. So days like these are super important because they teach us about the history of Canada, especially Black Canadians. So I'm, again, so honored to have been a part of this event. And I hope that more Canadians get to learn more about Emancipation Day.
Okay. What is the next step in your musical journey? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I actually just released my debut EP, The Chronicles of a Teenage Mind, which is out now on all streaming platforms. But next month, actually this month, on August 12th, I'm performing at the Honey Jam Showcase in Toronto. So I'm super excited for that.
Honey Jam is still going? I used to go to Honey Jam a long time ago. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm old, so yeah. I went a long time ago. That's so exciting. Well, good for you. I will certainly look out for you at Honey Jam.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations on your participation in the events today. And, thank you for sharing what Emancipation Day means to you. Bukola, joining us from Vancouver. Thank you.